All right. I think we're good. I think we are good. Welcome, welcome. I am now on OBS. Hopefully this is working. I am now on OBS. Let me just look it up. Let me go into this one. Yeah. Here we go. Right on, guys. We're back. I think this is yeah, I think this is working. Let me look it up one more time. All right. Let's see. I decided to okay, all right. I'm going live. All right, cool. All right, cool. Nice. Well, I'm just going to continue to well, I don't need my phone anymore. I don't need my phone anymore, guys. This is awesome. We're upgrading. We're stepping up. Welcome, guys. Welcome to the next the newest Saturday Bearded Live with me, 3-year beard guy, or Justin if you want to, be specific and stuff. But yeah, I got my lapel on. I've been using this, for a while, but there was a little hacking situation with my other channel, like probably about a few months ago, and I might have mentioned it in one of the streams. So I was a little hesitant to download OBS again, so I was just, okay, well, I know how to use the software. I know how to do this. Let me just get back into the groove of things and give you a little bit more of a experience this time. So thank you guys for coming in. Thank you guys. Well, sooner or later, one of you guys will come in. I know it's a little bit early for us on a Saturday. Um, I just celebrated my birthday 3 days ago. Yeah, and I am going to be, well, I'm officially 42, so fun life with beard life, right? And what am I drinking? I'm drinking a little bit of Coca-Cola and some grape Waterloo. But yeah, wanted to just set up the new live so that way we can have more fun. We can actually go into another segment with the bearded legend. I got another segment that I can like transition into, which is fun. Um, but yeah, we're gonna have some fun. Hopefully today. This is a interesting bearded legend this week, and I'm excited about what's happening with things. Just improving on things, getting better with life, and just like trying to strive to do better. That's the Stoic philosophy, guys. And if you don't know Stoicism, then definitely look it up. There's a lot of easy way to follows. There's plenty of YouTube videos discussing Stoicism. I'm a firm believer of Stoicism because I don't like to rely too much on my emotions. I like to have fun. I like to, be goofy and everything. But when it comes to just, trying to control my emotions, I think Stoicism is definitely something that everyone definitely can practice on, regardless of being a man with a nice beard, right? So, anyways, but yeah, I'm enjoying life right now. I'm having fun with my job. I'm having fun with my family. And speaking of which, I ended up making some homemade Dubai chocolates with my fam this last weekend. And we got all the ingredients together. We got the 70% cacao for the shell, and then it was like that melting chocolate. You just put it in like one of those double boilers, where it's not, gonna burn the chocolate. And now it's melting in my hand, which it's a good chocolate. So just wanted to show it right here. There you go. There's that little pistachio cream cracker stuff in the middle. And cheers, guys. This is really good. We made a few batches. This happens to be a present, right? This happens to be a present. Cheers, guys. I always try to. Oh man, that was good. That is so good. Mmm, amazing. I don't know if you can hear the chew. I substituted the strips of phyllo, which is supposed to be the original ingredient, to Chex Mix. Easier way to just crush those Chex Mix, fill it up with, mix it up with that filling, that pistachio cream. So much easier. You get the same effect of that Dubai chocolate cream filling crunchiness. There's two different styles, but we ended up using the rest of the cream, the pistachio cream, because we had some of that left over. We used that to put it in the caramel popcorn just to bump it up a notch, right? Anyways, let's talk about beards. What am I going to be using from mostly throughout my beard journey routine of growing my beard for 3 years? Definitely Weatherbeard. Weatherbeard is definitely a great, reliable, high-quality product that you can rely on to keep your beard at its optimum. So you got the beard growth stimulator formula with the oil and the wash. You definitely want to, use this for the stimulating the follicles that you normally have, but just increasing those dormant follicles to produce more and more. And hopefully your beard, which has been proven with these natural ingredients with peppermint oil and rosemary oil, those are the two main, primary ingredients that allows the stimulation of those follicles, those dormant follicles, to occur. So really good product. I'm using pretty much their whole, bundle, including the beard butter. Beard butter. This is the Hinoki Heights smell. It's got that woodsy, sweet Japan smell. It's just like a nice, like mellow, but like, oh yeah, just a little bit of hint of pine with the sweetness of that wood. You get the nice mahogany. I mean, there's a special wood in Japan, and it's Hinoki, and using that type of, natural ingredient, it just really bumps up the smell, and my wife loves it. My wife, enjoys that type of smell. So let me just check the chat for a second before I move on into the Bearded Legend of the Week. You're going to be really excited to hear the Bearded Legend of the Week is a pretty good one. Let me just check out. Okay, nobody's watching. That's fine. I am completely comfortable with that. I just wanted to see about the chat. There's one primary thing that I'm using from OBS this time around, and it's that chat window. So I just wanted to see if it works or not. But either way, I mean, I'm doing this really, really early, and again, I'm not going to catch people all the time on these types of lives. So I'm just going to continue to move forward, and I'm going to do my thing while we enter in the Bearded Legend of the Week. Today's Bearded Legend is Transition. Obi-Wan Kenobi. Obi-Wan Kenobi is a great character because you can clearly see that he's got a beard, but he also has a great story behind his fictional character, which is, based in the Star Wars universe. And everyone knows Star Wars. There's 3 original episodes, which are pretty much the 6th, 7th, and 8th episode in the chronological order of the Star Wars universe story. So basically, Obi-Wan Kenobi it's a pretty good pick because not only is he a fictional character from the Star Wars franchise, but he is a legendary Jedi Master who serves as a key hero bridging the prequel and the original movies trilogies. Basically, he plays a younger version of Obi-Wan in the prequels, which are basically episode 1, 2, and 3, the Clone Wars, and the other ones that I don't think I really saw because I kind of touched base on them. I thought they were, still pretty interesting, but I think the episodes 6, 7, and 8 are definitely the most memorable one. Especially when you can argue which ones, the old ones are the best or the new ones are the best. I don't know, but I prefer the old ones because I kind of grew up on most of them. And plus, it just like cemented from Lucasfilms their original storytelling was kind of something that everyone really was attracted to back in the day, and it really shows. There's a lot of people that are like, man, I wish we could just go back to the old school style of storytelling in the Star Wars franchise, which is basically, you know, sixth, seventh, eighth episode. But yeah. Anywho, Obi-Wan Kenobi, definitely not only a best known for mentoring Anakin Skywalker and his son Luke Skywalker in the ways of the Force. Two different actors famously brought him to life, like Alec Guinness, which is this character right here, or this actor, and then played by the younger version is Ewan McGregor, played his younger self in the prequel, and I like this one because it shows the lightsaber. I mean, come on, guys. You guys wanted to start seeing the badassness of the lightsaber, and now you could see it. This was an awesome story to tell with the character of Obi-Wan. So, yeah, it was a great, you know, addition to showing a master who masters, you know, the Force, but chooses good regardless of some of his students turned bad, which is Anakin. Anakin, we all know what happened to Anakin, and if you don't, spoiler alert, he turns into Darth Vader. So, and it was a really, you know, interesting take on Obi-Wan because he's the one who felt more responsible for Anakin's demise to, you know, lean towards the dark side, which is obviously a tragedy. It's a tragic moment. You don't want one of your students going terribly rogue and bad because of you thinking that you taught him that, and you could have just taught him something differently. But, you know, I think that it's an interesting take, regardless of a young hero who, as a student, his master was Qui-Gon Jinn. That was Obi-Wan's master. He became a true Jedi Knight after a major battle against the evil Darth Maul. And we remember Darth Maul. I can't pull him up right now, but Darth Maul, he's got the famous double lightsaber staff, which is cool. The reveal is just amazing, you know. Go watch the prequel episodes, especially the Clone Wars, or the one where like Anakin's really young. I think that's the Clone Wars, but yeah. So it's really fun to, like, you know, imagine this type of, you know, person, this character contributes very well into becoming one of the best legendary beards of all time. Obi-Wan Kenobi, thank you so much for your contribution to your storytelling in a fictional movie, but it seems like it very well connects to all of us because of what these movies taught us, which is basically, I had to wrap up, patience, discipline, and wisdom. We all need to have all those because despite who we're, you know, around, they can easily fall into dark moments, and which is representative of the dark side. We can try to stay light, and we can try to, you know, endure the inevitable of there will be evil there, you know, everywhere you go, but just try to stay resilient to become the best version of yourself, including what Obi-Wan Kenobi, you know, showed in like all the movies. Basically, was like a really good example of um, his character. So that's why he is the bearded legend of this week, and of course. I pretty much covered all the three strong facts. Became known as much of a wisdom as a skill. Survived some of the most difficult periods in the galaxy's history. Of course, again, if you guys jump into the Star Wars franchise, you will be overwhelmed by the amount of lore that has been coming out of that franchise. It's just amazing. But Obi-Wan Kenobi is definitely one that everyone remembers because not only was he a part of the major you know, story of, you know, why Luke Skywalker is Luke Skywalker and why Darth Vader is his, spoiler alert, father, and you know, it's an interesting take on a very sci-fi, futuresque movie that involves, you know, Knights of the Republic and the Sith, or, you know, like, and all that fun stuff. It's a very lovely franchise to just dive deep because it gives you that much lore to explore. And there's many, many different other TV shows about Star Wars, but definitely, again, Obi-Wan Kenobi, one of the major remembrances everyone remembers. Obi-Wan Kenobi, lightsaber boy, you were the chosen one, and all that fun stuff. Thank you again, Obi-Wan Kenobi. So yeah, and you know what? I like this new setup. The setup is great. It's a good angle. It's got like some of the stuff on here, and it shows off more of the little bits and pieces. You know, just gonna continue to use this setup, and I like the Obi-Wan Kenobi bearded legend this week. If you guys have any other suggestions of bearded legends, please let me know if I haven't covered them yet. I've covered them pretty much every stream, every Saturday. So again, I'm always open to hearing what kind of bearded legend you guys like, or you prefer. What kind of bearded legends do you know of that I haven't covered yet? Check me out with, or like, check me out as I use your suggestions as for bearded legends. But yeah, one of the things that so far my beard hasn't been cleaned today, because sometimes I just like to take a day off, from like letting it, be bombarded with like so much wash, so much oil, so much beard butter. I just like to give it a rest a little bit for one day. I never like to keep it like that. Otherwise, my beard is going to get really, really out of control. It's going to be Brillo patty. It's going to be super dry. Right now, it's like kind of in between. It's like still nice and pliable. It's good and soft, but I could feel that it's drying up a little bit in certain areas. But I've been looking at the coarseness and the separated dividedness of these bristles. Now, I know that you shouldn't use, what I hear, you shouldn't use certain materials for your combs because sometimes these can be static, clingy. Like for instance, these are probably static, clingy because they're, poly plastic or whatever they're made of. They're made of resin and plastic and stuff. But something that's like more of a wood, more of a an animal horn, like an ivory, I'm pretty sure those are less conductive. I think there's one also that's carbon, that's also less electricity conductive, that you don't want to brush your beard hair and have it to be statically charged. Otherwise, you're just going to have a bunch of static shock to your... And then that's how we discover that we're superheroes, right? No, I'm kidding. Anywho, I think that these are, something that you do need different separators, different lengths. Like this one is probably a good one to kind of open up all that without having to tangle so much. You just want to kind of let it open up and breathe. It's just something good for your beard, so you let it air out. Now, I always like to, because I've been doing this for about 6 months now, I'm getting used to the routine every single day. Most of the days I have a good routine. Most days. This, however, this is how my beard is. These are how my beard hairs are shaped sometimes. They're very coily, wire they have a spring to it. There it is. They have a spring to it. It's all wavy, curly, different curly cues. See? Like that. It's curling a little bit. But it's also wavy. It's curly wavy. But yeah, you definitely need, I suggest, depending on what kind of thickness your beard is, I suggest you have multiple distances, multiple bristle. I wish I had enough. I wish I could explain things in so eloquently, but sometimes I can't. But you know what I mean. Different different levels of distance within between like the bristles. These are always beneficial to kind of like, start off with not really tangling your beard, and then you can start to get to a little bit more finer bristles. So yeah. Ah, and it feels so good that I'm just getting that hair nice and fitted straight. I wouldn't recommend doing this all the time because, well, I don't know. I mean, like, depending, there are some like talks that if you over brush your hair, you'll start to see these hairs coming out. But then, like, you'll find out that realistically, today's trivia is how many beard hairs do you lose on average per day? It's be, well, I'm not gonna. I'm just gonna give you the answer. It's like between 20 to 50 bristle, like 50 individual hairs, 20 to 50 individual hairs. That's pretty nuts to imagine. But depending, yeah, there's a little bit of something that got caught, something that got tangled. Detangling your beard is always good because you're training these follicles to kind of like go in certain directions. So in some reasonable aspect, you can train your beard to become more cooperative with certain directions that you want it to, put, especially with your mustache. You want to train those follicles to, go in a certain direction. And usually your follicles will somewhat cooperate to some degree. You don't want to be completely like, you just want to be fair. Be fair with, how your hair is already in the direction, and you can just kind of like brush it out to a more of an appropriate level of, keeping your beard at a good form. But of course, this is going to take some time, and everyone is different. We all have different genes, have different heritages, and we just, appreciate different styles of beards. And for me, mostly, I appreciate every single different style of beard. The bushy, the thick, the patchy, the thin, like the just the Fu Manchu, like the just, as little as big, as possible, that your hair face, your facial structure can like um, composite. Then yeah, it's all good to me because like I think beards in general are very unique. So the more diversity and the more variety that we have with beards, the better. And that's why this August I want to go to my first beard competition. I don't know if I'm going to enter it in, but I'm definitely going to take part in, just being there for the event. And yeah, it would be cool just to be a part of that. And that one's going to be, pretty soon. It's coming up. It's already June, July, August, so in the next, like, 2 months, I'll be going there. And I'll be pretty excited to do that because that'll be the first time that I've ever participated or even attended a beard competition. So, yeah, it should be fun. Should be fun. And look, no hairs. So, after a while, your hairs will be resistant enough to get pulled if you're treating it right. Oh, there was another hair. Anyways, that was an old hair. But yeah, totally normal to lose about 20 to 50 hairs of beard per day. Pretty outrageous number, but I mean, I guess we have like up to 30,000 follicles of beard hair, and maybe some people have like more than that. 30,000 follicles, 30,000 individual hairs. That's pretty insane. But sometimes, yeah, us guys, we need to appreciate all of our different styles of beards. Nothing wrong with always striving and wishing that we had a bigger beard, but again, that comes more maintenance. So if you're just that type of guy that enjoys that particular regular style of wearing a beard, not having to do too much maintenance, just a little bit of beard oil, a little bit of beard wash, and bam, you're good to go. You're good to go to work. Good on you, man. Me, I like to take up that challenge, and I like to imagine what it's going to be like in the next 3 years because I'm going to be known for the big beard. So it's just going to be fun to just keep up with the challenge, and I'm excited for that. You know, some people, I wish that some people had that same type of strive, that same type of motivation to get up there, get up off their butts and do something that's fun and interactive and engaging, and then shows your uniqueness. I think we all have like a lot of good talent and unique talent to show for if we want to, but sometimes some of us are a little shy. Some of us don't want to be a part of that engagement, which is fine. Some people live quiet lives, which is great. I think people need to have both sides of the coin, because not all of life needs to be exciting, needs to be, hey, look at me, needs to be uh, more like a center of attention type of ordeal. But there are people out there that need to motivate others, and then other people that do motivate others when they're quiet and they see, wow, Thomas is like had a real like has a really good house. Wow, Thomas, what do you do? Oh yeah, I just been in tech, and I take care of my family. Wow, this is so awesome. Let me see your garage. Oh yeah, I got like that Mercedes, and I also got like a few motorcycles. I also got this like nice movie theater indoors. Movie theater. Wow, that is so cool. Yeah, and I also give my family, friends, and my grandchildren plenty of vacations. Wow, that is awesome, man. I want to know what Thomas is doing, right? Thomas is he's crushing it in life. He's crushing it because not only is he part of an obvious community which he's growing with his family, but he's becoming very successful in providing and being that person, that figure that people can look up to. Hey, if Thomas, an average looking guy who's like making six figures a month, and he's like really happy doing tech, or maybe he's also like has another part-time job, he's also doing lives, about some other thing that he does with like electronics, and that's awesome too. Like, people being like entrepreneurs has never been uh, it's such an old thing to do. Like, we are all entrepreneurs. We just have we have the capability to be entrepreneurs, but sometimes we just rather live a little bit quieter, but we also make really good money. I think we all have like the potential to become what we want to be, essentially, and I think that's something that everyone needs to be reminded of. I can like come on every day and talk about motivational stuff with beards every single time. If you guys need motivation from some random average guy like me to grow a beard, yeah, like this should be motivation for you to just grow beards and just be comfortable in your own bearded skin, in the as the saying goes. I'm just making up that saying now. The bearded skin. So, guys, continue to beard the course. You guys hopefully have a great weekend. Try to become productive. Try to enjoy that relaxation time, but also encourage yourself and motivate yourself to do something that is more engaging than just your own consumption, your own needs. Because when you outreach your energy to other people within your community, and the things that you like, to be around the people that make you feel like you're a part of something, is a lot more important than your own individual needs. In fact, we end up discovering more about us because we end up outreaching to each other first and seeing how we can help others by motivating each other, by becoming a part of a community like the Star Wars franchise. The franchise is still not dead, guys. It's still not dead. You guys can still turn it around, just get it together. Like, let's go back to old school type of storytelling where it was fun, nuanced, but also mysterious. And a lot of it, we also had to kind of, figure it out until it was revealed, right? Those were fun. Um, but yeah, aside from like how I, want to criticize and the improvement of cinema, I think you guys should have like, a fun time regardless. Try to find something that makes you happy, but also try to find something that you can work with and have fun with other people in the same community, and the families and friends and all that. You guys have a great weekend. I will be posting tomorrow for another video, and yeah, you guys have a good one. Keep on bearding on, because I screwed that up the last time. I said keep on bearding keep bearding on. I don't know, but anyways, I'm gonna continue to make a fool of myself, and I hope you guys are here with me. All right, take it easy. See you next time.